Well, Rafael Nadal is a human, is what I learned last night, and I was starting to doubt it after the first two sets in his match versus Tsitsipas, where Tsitsipas mounted one of the most epic comebacks I've ever seen live and we've ever seen in tennis, to be argued. So we're going to get into what happened. Was it a choke job? Was it just amazing tennis from Tsitsipas? We're going to look at Zverev Djokovic as well and give the semifinal matchup breakdowns. So there's a lot to get into. I'm stoked to be here. I'm also extremely tired. It's Australian Open second week. What else do you expect? Let's get into it.
I go fair.
Have you been watching the slides? They're coming at you from the Delray Beach Open. Miami Open. Down here in the grounds. This is
no back to
We are here with the man. Neil Rana.
Welcome to the slice.
Ooh, okay, man. There is a lot to talk about. Oh man, last night was crazy. I was up till 5 a.m. watching the tennis. I watched the entire Stefanos Tsitsipas Rafa Nadal match start to finish, so I have an in-depth analysis for you here. So thank you for being here. Like and subscribe and hit the bell. It really helps us out. Also check out the links below because the Australian Open coverage of the Slice is sponsored by Top Court, which is the most comprehensive, amazing online video library of lessons from pros and coaches. So you can literally learn from Jeannie Bouchard, Taylor Fritz, the Bryan brothers, Venus Williams. They have amazing videos. Andre Rublev, how to hit forehands. Click the link below to get 14 days free trial. It's up to you. It really helps the Slice when you do that. So I appreciate your guys' love. But Nadal is a human, okay? So what happened in this match? This match was a match where I thought that there was definitely a danger element for Nadal because Tsitsipas has beat him before. He's got big weapons on both sides and he's looking good. He also had a walkover in his match before this. So we hadn't really seen Nadal get pressed yet. So I was really interested to see how this was going to go down. The match started with Nadal playing vintage Nadal. It started pretty close, and then he won the first set by elevating his level and kind of taking the racket out of Stefanos Tsitsipas' hand. So Nadal started playing at such a high level that it started to look like it was just going to be a 3-set walkover. Like Tsitsipas wasn't doing anything wrong. Nadal was just playing too good. As the second set was coming to a close, I was so tired that I was literally almost going to go to bed because I just thought it was kind of over. But I stuck around and watched the third set. In the third set, Stefanos picked up his level a bit, started to match Nadal again after just getting blown off the court for 2 sets. Literally, I sent out a tweet that did not age well at all here saying that Nadal is the favorite to win the Australian Open based on the level I'd seen, because at that point I hadn't seen anyone else play that anywhere really near that level. And I was, that's just what I thought in the moment. Then Tsitsipas started to match him in the third set. Service hold, service hold, service hold. We get to the business end of that set, and this is really the turning point of the whole match, was the tiebreaker. The tiebreaker starts by Tsitsipas giving up unforced error to give up a mini break, and then Nadal gives it right back, but how he gave it back was so crucial for this match. So he had a pretty routine, very routine overhead smash, and he absolutely shanked it. Shocking smash. He hit the back wall. And it's just, that never happens. Nadal's so good when it comes to overhead, anything at the net, really. So that was weird to see. And then Stefanos got a little bit of breath of life, and then there was 3 more shanks, honestly, from Nadal in that tiebreaker, ended up giving it to Stefanos. So now it's 2-1, and we got a match on our hands. So to me, just the feeling that I had watching the match at that point was, I've seen so much Nadal play over the years. I'm in Nadal's shoes at 34 years old. He's 12 years older than Tsitsipas, and going, yeah, who's got a better mentality going into this 4th set right now? Because it felt like Tsitsipas was like, okay, let's go. I've done this before. I think his match against Djokovic in the French Open, I was wondering if he was going to be able to do it, if he was going to pull on experience from that, bringing that back to a 5th set. He actually was injured at the end of that 5th set, so he didn't really have the chance to compete as well. So here we had Nadal going, man, I just lost a set. Now I'm going to have to run more. And now, there's all these things where I didn't feel like it was, earlier in his career or at different times, you've seen Nadal or Djokovic lose a set and then they just right away break and then they just kind of have a clean set right after that. It was not that type of vibe. Stefanos really elevated his game after that, and honestly, Nadal ran out of some steam. So Nadal's level came down, Tsitsipas's went up, and then Tsitsipas won the 4th set. Tsitsipas started serving so well, hitting winners off his forehand, which he really wasn't doing. He had about 4 winners off his forehand in the first 3 sets and no break points. And then he finally broke Nadal in the 4th set, won that set. And then the 5th set, at the beginning of that, I was like, Tsitsipas has the advantage here for sure. Nadal was slowing down, and this is the thing. Age is not just a number. It's, as a Federer fan, I've watched Federer slow down big time in the last few years, even since 2017-18 when he won 3 slams. Just slowing down in these matches where when it goes the distance, it's just that they don't have that physical advantage anymore. And Nadal did not have a physical advantage in this match. In the 5th set, he had actually a physical disadvantage. And there's nothing that he could have done differently with conditioning. Obviously, he could have trained a bit better in the pre-up to that, but the fact is he's just 34 years old. The kid he's playing is 22, and it was just an unbelievable display of hitting from both guys, honestly. Nadal served incredibly well, which kept him in a lot of these games at the end of the match. And then it came down to it, and Stefanos had to use 3 match points to put it away. So much asked of him. It was just, I'm sad for Nadal because I love the guy. He's such an unbelievable warrior. You don't love to see that happen to anyone like that, really. But I was so happy for Stefanos as well because of, he's had so much potential for a while. I've talked about his mental game of him being a mental giant, even at 22. And he showed that here, putting this match to bed, coming back from 2 sets down against Nadal, where that only ever been done once before in a major, once before in a Masters 1000 back in 2005. Federer did it when it was a 5-set match in a Masters. But just incredible scenes. Like, you could see how much it meant to Stefanos. Unbelievable. So huge congrats to Stefanos. Shocking, sad loss for Nadal. Now, people are going to ask, and I want everyone to be on our channel to be respectful because this has not been the case in the past. People are going to say, oh, Nadal choked it away. He's a choker. Do not call Nadal a choker. Don't say any of that. That is crap. If you're saying that, you just don't respect Nadal and you don't really respect the game in that sense. Was it a bit of a choke job? Like, if Nadal in his language would probably say that, like, if he was just, I definitely let that one slip. I could have done differently. Obviously, he could have done differently in that tiebreaker. He got tight. He didn't play good. He was mentally made a couple bad decisions there, which let him get back in the match. But then when it's 2-1 down, it's no longer like you're on the cusp of winning. It's like each set is a new thing. And like I said, Stefanos was this fitter player. So then it's kind of just like, well, now it's a 4-set. Oh, now it's a 5th set. After that 1st set win for Stefanos, it's not really like, a 2-set lead anymore. It's just like, we're in a match here. So it's not a massive choke. The bigger choke in the quarterfinals to me was actually Zverev against Djokovic. Now let's get into this match a little bit. So what happened here? Zverev won the 1st set in a tiebreaker. Stayed up all night to watch this match as well. As you can tell, I'm pretty tired here. Zverev won the 1st set in this match, and then scrappy match. Both guys' levels were going up and down. Both guys were getting... Actually, Zverev was very stoic. Djokovic was getting pretty frustrated with not being able to convert on some things. Djokovic, though, was serving unbelievably well. The best I've ever seen, and I've heard this from a lot of people, I think we've ever seen him serve. And it really kept him in this match. Because Zverev, in the 2nd and the 3rd set, after winning the 1st set, had double break points to go up double breaks in both sets. Wasn't able to do it and got broken back immediately to go back on serve and ended up losing both sets there, which were horrible for him. So Zverev put himself in the position with the game he had, and I felt like he had a serious chance coming in based on their levels beforehand. He put himself in the position and just could not rise to the moment. Unfortunately, it's classic Zverev at this point in his career. I'm not saying that he won't get better than this. We've just been waiting for it for a long time, and it was, in my opinion, definitely a choke. Now, Djokovic fans are going to say, I'm taking everything away from Djokovic in that match. No, I'm not. He served the best I've ever seen him play. He played big in the big moments that mattered, and that's what he's always done. That's what he did when he stole that victory from Federer at the Wimbledon 2019 that you guys love to talk about. He plays big in the big moments. We know that, and that's what he did here. But it doesn't change the fact that Zverev was up, and he had a massive advantage in both those sets, and he choked it away. So that was tough. Another thing I want to talk about is a tweet that I sent out with Djokovic's massive racket smash in the middle of the 2nd set, I think it was. And that really changed a lot of the match for him. It might have been the 3rd set, I forget. But I made a tweet where it said, Djokovic and Serbian and Djokovic fans wonder why Djokovic is treated differently than Federer and Nadal. But then also Djokovic doing this racket smash. And people are like wondering why. But it's obvious to me. Djokovic has acted differently than Federer and Nadal, and I'm not saying it's bad. I relate to Djokovic's on-court prowess way more than Federer and Nadal. That's kind of like why I like Federer, because I can't relate to anything he does on the court. But I relate to Djokovic. I smashed rackets. I don't even hate smashing rackets. I think it's funny. I think it's awesome. I like emotion. I loved it when Djokovic ripped off his shirt after winning the Australian Open 2012. I don't think it's bad how he acts on court. I think that it's different, and it's obvious that it's different than Nadal and Federer. So therefore, it makes total sense that he's treated differently by the media than Federer and Nadal. If he wasn't treated differently, that would be weird because he does way different things. So it's weird to complain about that, but then also acknowledge the fact that he's like, way more passionate and way more all this. Just accept it. And, tennis media, they got it's not me. They got the old school vibes of like, it's so disrespectful, whatever. They're not going to treat you the same when you don't act the same. It makes total sense to me, in my opinion. That racket smash, though, to me was a bit, you got to look at that and say that's like unsportsmanlike. He smashes the racket. Zverev's clearly winning the match at that point. And then, you kind of ice Zverev because there's graphite and stuff all over the court. So right before Zverev has to come out and serve again, the girl has to come out and sweep it all up. It is a little bit dusty. So people are allowed to get on him for that. And people I get it. I understand that's your guy, Djokovic fans. You get so defensive when that happens, but you can't complain when it happens because it totally makes sense. Again, don't hate the guy. Don't even hate racket smashing. Don't hate showing emotion. But to me, it's pretty obvious. 1 + 1 = 2. If you act differently than Nadal and Federer, you're going to get treated differently by the media. It makes total sense. Now that that's to bed, and I'm sure we're all friends and Djokovic fans have all resubscribed to our channel, we're going to get into the matchups in the semifinals because they're big time. We got Aslan Karatsev, the Russian Lion qualifier, out of nowhere, Cinderella story, made it to the semifinals instead of Thiem, who was supposed to play Djokovic. So this match, I think Djokovic has a 95% chance of coming through this match. The only possible way that Karatsev could hurt him is because they have never played. Djokovic said that he'd never seen Karatsev play before this. And Karatsev does have amazing power. He's younger. Maybe, I don't know about his fitness, but maybe he could go the full distance and really wear down Djokovic, and then that injury comes back into play. To me, that's the only inroads that Aslan really has, but I'm definitely expecting Joker to come through. And then we got Tsitsipas and Medvedev on the bottom. And now, check this meme. Because if you guys remember this kind of sets the stage for a little bit of the animosity they have between them.
That was interesting.
Man, you better shut your fuck up, okay?
Lenny.
Hey, Stefanos, you want to look at me and talk?
Lenny.
Uh-oh.
You have some problems? You go emergency toilet for 5 minutes, urine, and then you say, then you hit let and you don't say sorry. You think you're a good kid? Look at me. Hey, look at me, huh? You don't look. He started it. He started it.
I know, but stop it.
He started it.
Yes, but...
Yes, he started it. He said bullshit Russian. You think this is normal? I answered him because he doesn't know how to fight. He's a small kid who doesn't know how to fight.
So yeah, I love a little bit of drama on the court. We got a 6-1 lead in head-to-head for Medvedev. A 5-1 lead. So I think it's a style matchup for sure that favors Medvedev on this court. The fast court, he's playing super well. He chopped up Rublev. I didn't think it would be that easy, but he absolutely chopped him. Tsitsipas is coming off this 5-set marathon comeback against Nadal. He's probably going to be a bit more tired. And I think that Medvedev is going to really frustrate Tsitsipas in this match, use his pace, redirect it. He's been doing that so well all tournament. That's why people had him as arguably the favorite to win this title. Now that Nadal's I think that's even gotten better. So I'm taking Medvedev in 4 sets. If he can win it in 4 sets or less, because he has one less day of rest before the final against Djokovic, I think they're on even playing fields going in. Totally even. I can't pick a winner. I'm obviously going to lean Djokovic because he's won 17 slams. He's won this 8 times, and you just have to. But I'd say Medvedev's levels arguably higher in this match, in this tournament so far. And the matchup is not what Djokovic likes. He's lost to Medvedev before, and it's the type of player that can really get Djokovic rather than just a big hitter. So the stage is set. We're in the last 4 players. I can't believe that Aslan Karatsev is there. So that was my breakdown of the match with Nadal. What do you think? What do you think really what happened? What surprised you the most? Where do you think Nadal goes from here? He missed out on a chance to break history here by getting his 21st Grand Slam, getting the complete career slam twice, but the French Open's coming up, so obviously he has as good of a chance as anyone's ever had to win another slam and break Federer's record. So that is coming up Nadal's obviously going to be disappointed, but he had a great tournament, and what can you do? It's tough. Tsitsipas played well. I'm excited for these semifinals, folks. Stick around. Check out the links below. Thank you for all the love, support, subscribe. Djokovic fans, you're welcome back. Don't leave. Let's all do this together. Thanks for watching The Slice, folks. We'll see you next time. Wait, before you head out there, folks, I know you're a tennis fan because you watched this video, and you might go play some tennis or purchase some new tennis gear, but don't do that before going to courtsidesports.com, where you can get brand new gear like this brand new Head Radical, the brand new Yonex V-Core, the Addy Zero Ubersonic, or the Polytour Rev String. All the new gear on courtsidesports.com you can get for 10% off using our code, just because we love you, and our friends at Courtside Sports are the best online store in the world. So check them out, link below right now.